Hey everyone, and welcome to SkillCapped. In this guide, we'll be going over the two aggressive strategies the player aceu uses to get more kills and top frag in his games on the map Haven in defense. Gaining map control and finding information for your team aggressively early on to the round can net you lots of frags and wins in solo queue. Now, playing aggressively in defense is pretty risky. You need to have the mechanics and be precise with your aim to be able to execute these plays with high succession. Come check out our previous video on aceu where we break down 3 aiming techniques he uses to allow him to play aggressively, which can hopefully help you do the same. Keep in mind, playing aggressively on defense requires you to be flexible and adaptive at all times. Aceu always adapts to changes in situations and fills in gaps where his teammates cannot. Luckily, we'll be breaking down different variations of the same play to give you guys a better idea of aceu's thought process and how he is such an amazing solo queue player. Before we get into that, we're excited to announce our brand new hyper improved platform specifically designed to help you improve fast. At SkillCapped.com, you'll finally learn how to level up your aim, different techniques to win a gunfight, and so much more. We have professional courses on every single agent, map, and mechanic in Valorant. This is backed by the top pros, players, and coaches to make sure you're getting the most up-to-date and accurate info possible. In fact, we're so confident that you'll improve using our system that we offer a rank improvement guarantee. Check it out yourself in the link below. Simply put in what rank you're currently stuck at and find out what rank you're guaranteed by using our system. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your true potential and get the rank you've always wanted at skillcapped.com. Link in the description below. Jumping into our first strategy, aceu actually loves pushing out of B and fighting window. We'll be seeing 3 variations of how he does this. Now, before we continue the clip, notice how aceu's team is structured. He has a killjoy covering A, so aceu has an extra partner on B to play with, which is a sova in this case. Because killjoy can solo A on the map, on defense aceu's team is currently leaned towards the B and C side. This is important to note because this allows aceu to aggressively push without risking as much. If aceu were to die in the window fight, Sova can quickly trade him off and the garage player, which is Phoenix, can flash out and fight with the Sova on B. Having the defense lean towards one side allows that one side to play more aggressively for early info and gives it an easier time for the anchor player, which is a killjoy, to adapt as well. Usually it would be unwise for the killjoy to push and gain early information because if she were to die, there would be nobody to trade her and she is unable to use all her traps that she set up. Alright, let's continue the clip. Since this is the first round on defense, aceu decides to go to the right side of mid and into this cubby for cover, waiting out the sage slow. Aceu's careful about progressing further because he has no information on how the enemy team plays on defense. After an arrow that shows grass is clear from his teammate, aceu decides to walk up and take more map control. He's careful about having more people in grass, so he decides to have his crosshair placed there just in case. Now, most of you guys would actually be very worried and paranoid about window, but what do you guys think the reason is for aceu being so confident about leaving window open and not even look at it? Look at the map carefully. Sova is actually covering aceu as he is walking up. The moment aceu hears a gunshot from either his right or left side, he'll probably flick to the left and hopefully run to cover at the same time. In this instance, nobody was window, but we hear the comms from his killjoy telling aceu about the situation in A site.
Nothing mid.
Oh, one on A. Oh, they're pushing A.
With this information, aceu confidently pushes window and prepares for a potential fight against the enemy lurker. As he walks up to A lobby, he realizes that the enemy is already on site. This confirms the commitment to executing a bomb plant on A and crosses out any options for a fake. There's a wire that the enemy cipher has put down to stop aceu, but he maneuvers around it like it was nothing. At this point, aceu is in the perfect situation on the flank. The enemy has no idea that there is a flank because the wire was not broken and aceu sees 4 enemies on the map. After the bomb is planted, aceu hears an enemy stomping down to get into a post-plant position down in long A. Unfortunately for the Phoenix, his crosshair was probably not ready for the flank and he whiffs. Aceu gets an easy first frag. Since aceu got the kill on Phoenix, it's no secret that he's on the flank anymore. There's no point of walking, so aceu runs forward to assist his team on this retake. aceu continues to win the duel against the Sage under Heaven and gets a cheeky frag on the Omen to win the round for the team with a massive 3k. If that isn't a carry play for a pistol round, I don't know what is. Alright, so on to the next clip. We have aceu in the exact same play pushing up mid. The difference this time is that we're 3 rounds into the defense and aceu still has not been punished for pushing up. He decides to go fast because of his weapon of choice. The Spectre excels at short range combat but lacks the damage long range. Phoenix gets a frag in grass and Sova gives aceu the suppression fire he needs to safely jump up window. As aceu comes into window, he hears gunshots on grass coming from the enemy. He hears the enemy reload and decides to pounce on this opportunity. Most people would check A or to the left, but aceu decides to gamble and go all in on this play. Just like that, he gets 2 frags cleanly and backs up into window again. The team proceeds to win the round because of these crucial frags that create a numbers advantage. What was different from this play and the previous one was the information given to aceu during the beginning of the round. The first clip had a complete silence, which made aceu become more wary and play a little bit more patiently. Comparative to this clip, we can see that the friendly Phoenix gets an opening frag in grass and aceu can hear gunshots pelting at garage door. Depending on the information given, you should always adapt to the situation and make a decision around what you or your teammates have. Now let's look at a round when things don't go well pushing mid initially, and how aceu adapts to this situation to win the round. Again, the round is started through aceu pushing mid. But before we go further, look at how aceu's team decides to stack B. Phoenix is positioned in a super passive position at Heaven and Killjoy is hidden in an area where she can see Garage and Long C come out. They've committed into a 3-man window play with the Garage being open. Stacking players on an area of the map allows for the greatest chance of success for an aggressive play to happen on defense. Let's see how it turns out though. Unfortunately this time, the Brim gets fragged out by the Jet in grass. With this information, aceu decides to fight the Jet on grass, but right as this happened, the enemy Cypher peeks out a window which puts aceu in a 2v1 situation. This is something that you should never be in, but can happen if you play aggressively on defense. Luckily, thanks to Jet's dash, aceu is able to get out of these sticky situations and escape death rather easily. Right now, we see aceu in B main. What do you guys think the correct play is moving forward? Should he stay in B and prepare to fight? Or go to Garage and pick up the missing part of the map? If you picked Garage, that is correct. aceu prioritizes map control over picking a fight in mid. This is normally the safe choice because aceu and his team are in a 4v5 situation. By picking up a part of the map, they don't blindly give up C side and leave the friendly Killjoy stranded. He decides to take an aggressive play and come out of the smoke that the enemy Brim put down in Garage window. This is a risk in itself because there could be multiple enemies inside of Garage pushing, but fortunately the enemy did not know that there was nobody holding Garage at the beginning of the round. As the smokes fade, we can hear stomping on grass, and Sage calming the enemy is about to execute B.
They're smoking B.
aceu takes advantage of that window of opportunity and decides to aggressively push silently for a flank. He systematically checks grass, then window quickly to make sure nobody is there. This is important because it shows a lot of discipline and awareness for threats. Since he hears shooting, he decides to peek wide for the flank. Again, easy 2 kills with a bit of a whiff on the Brim, but still gets the kill, winning them the round and securing a good buy for the next fight. Now we've seen aceu push up window 3 times in a row now. Surely the enemy has to have caught onto something, right? This is where aceu switches things up and decides to aggressively push lower A. We'll be seeing 2 variations of this play here. To start things off, let's take a look at the current formation of aceu's team on the map. Killjoy is playing with him on A and the rest of the map is covered with 1 man each. This is considered a 2-man A setup. Normally, it is usually a good idea to play aggressively to gain early information for the other areas of the map. This setup would have been perfect if the Killjoy were to watch the cross on long to give aceu the early information to be aware of for the push in lobby. Unfortunately though, his teammate is actually using that time to set up traps instead. Regardless, aceu decides to still push forward and find information. Notice how aceu pulls out his knife to go down. This allows him to have a slight speed advantage while walking, which hopefully makes up for his teammate not giving him the call for somebody crossing. The Cypher pops up and he gets the frag while dinking another. Overwhelmed by the multiple enemies, aceu unfortunately falls, but notice how aceu's teammates play off of that information. Sova ults to try to deny the resurrection, while Phoenix and Sage quickly rotate to help their stranded Killjoy friend. The information attained by aceu fighting early allows for such early rotates. If you were the Phoenix or Sage in that position, you should be thinking about the rotate right away. When a teammate falls, that is where the enemy is, and that is why you should go towards that area of the map and help the defense or think about flanking the enemy. In the next clip, we see aceu doing the same A short push variation. This time though, he doesn't see anybody and decides to go up and into A lobby. Notice how he is pre-aiming to the left and back to the right because since the Killjoy did not watch the cross, there could be a possibility that somebody is there. While all this is happening, let's take a look at the map. Sage spots a player on C and backs up. While aceu is climbing the hill into lobby, Sova drones and reveals another player in grass, but nobody in window. With that information, it's safe to say that there shouldn't be anybody in A lobby. As aceu approaches A lobby, he hears a footstep outside of it, and decides to hide for hopefully an off-angle frag. To the ally Killjoy's surprise, she gets taken out by the Omen from long. Because of the unlucky timing, it seems like aceu and Omen just passed each other and decided to not check behind them. You see, in Haven, you can actually get into long A faster as an attacker before the defense sided short A player spots you.
That's right. Oh, yo. Oh my.
Aceu decides to ignore the Omen and go for his teammates who are about to come into A lobby thinking it is clear.
I'm sorry, A. He's hit 6.
We see aceu fight the Cypher and unfortunately whiffs. Through a messy scrimmage, he manages to take out the Cypher and the Sage, which are huge frags for the team. It stalls the enemy and buys time for the allies to rotate into position before the plant even goes down. After getting flashed by the Omen, he decides to dash into the corner of long A and try to get another off-angle shot on another enemy player coming into A lobby. Unfortunately, aceu whiffs again and gets fragged out, but has already done significant damage and gained more than enough information for his teammates to play off of. As you can see, the plays aceu makes all depend on different situations that happen around him. Sometimes you don't need to push all the way to get your team an advantage. It's good to know when you have a good position where you get lots of information, or even better, a couple of frags to help you win your team the round. And remember, if you want to improve, win more gunfights, and get the rank you've always wanted, then check out SkillCapped.com in the link in the description below. Alright, so let us know in the comments section below which part of the map on Haven you have most success on playing aggressively in. And while you're down there, leave a like and hit that subscribe button with bells on to get more premium guides that help you improve. We here at SkillCapped want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.